Hi, I'm trying this again. Not sure if the last one was recording. I am going to close that door so that the light doesn't shine in my face like this. And Facebook wants me to be here 10 minutes ahead of time, but then I don't know if anybody's listening to the recording right now. So we'll see what happens. But I'm going to be moving around a little bit, and I will be back here at 3:45 to begin again. Hi, this is Hans Hageman, older but stronger, and breathe to start. Not sure how this live stream stuff works, but let's give this a shot. I had originally scheduled this for 3:15. Then I was told it wasn't live, but I think it is live. But again, that's not your problem. Ideally, this is going to be a series of weekly efforts to provide wellness through breath work. I've put my bucket down on the breath for a number of reasons. I originally learned about the power of the breath when I was learning pranayama during my yoga training in the early 90s with a prominent Western yogi named David Swenson in the Ashtanga world. And I've subsequently, in the last couple of years, rediscovered it as I've looked for tools to improve my life, improve the lives of others, and certainly through the last couple of years, mitigate the challenges that we've all been facing. So if you choose to join me, I'm going to teach you some breathwork stuff. I'm going to be doing some other modalities if you're up for it, and if I'm able to actually figure out this live streaming piece. And today we're going to talk about something called 20 connected breaths. And that pattern was created by the founder of something called rebirthing. His name was Leonard Orr. And when you hear breathwork normally, it's or you see it on Instagram, Facebook, the news. It's normally talking about patterns of breathwork that have to do with transformation. And you're going to be vigorously breathing, and you're going to be breathing through your mouth, and you're going to reach different states of awareness that you otherwise can't reach. And that's important, and it has its place. And 20 connected breaths is part of that. I've learned other breathwork modalities as well as that kind of transformational breathwork. And I've had some wonderful teachers like Crystal Hernandez, Dr. Belisa Vranich, Francesca Sipma, Patrick McCune. And so ideally through this series, I'm going to teach you about the biomechanics of breathing, the biochemistry of breathing, the different cadences of breathing that you can use to achieve states of energy, relaxation, or transformation. I put my bucket down in this as I go into this, what I assume will be my final act. And I've got my tagline is become an ancestor worth claiming. And that's what I'm trying to live up to. I've done it in various other forms before, things that were more in keeping with my educational pedigree. And frankly, my own issues with elitism, and that has come back to bite me. I'm not gonna go too far into that. But I've also come to be at peace with the fact that there are certain things within my circle of influence, and not necessarily my circle of concern and control, but within my circle of influence where I can make a significant impact. And breathwork is going to be that tool for those things. I've got a couple of projects going on. One is at a maximum security facility for teens, where I'm going to be, hopefully, and I'll find out the first week in April, introducing the first of its kind in the country, I think, breathwork coach certification program. So these boys, prior to their release, can become certified breathwork coaches. And there are two things with that. One is it's a stealth way of, if they want to earn their certification, they're going to have to incorporate breathwork into their lives. And with all the different benefits on the vagal system, the nervous system, the fight or flight, sympathetic, parasympathetic nervous system, energy, digestion, and so forth. And when they get released, the plan is that they'll have a certificate that will allow them to go back to the communities where they took so much from. And whether it's community groups, churches, or violence interrupter programs, and provide breathwork services for these different groups. And, big idea. And I am working with something called the power of intention, the power of 8, popularized by somebody named Lynn McTaggart. And when enough people gather together with enough intention, in this case, positive, loving intention, that you'll be able to see certain changes getting made in that community, in that society. I'm also counting on the fact there's I can't remember who did the research, but that says that if you get 3.5% of a population to embrace a movement that you in fact can make dramatic change in that society. I'm extrapolating that to breath work and the what the power that breath work can bring. So if everybody's breathing in a healthful way, and breathing with the intention of love, that there are going to be certain changes made. Now, right, I'm not a sleepy-eyed guru or whatever, because I've done the hard stuff. Whether as a prosecutor, a defense attorney, Army Reserve, training police, growing up in East Harlem during the record-setting homicide numbers. I know how the other stuff works, but I also understand that we need to start paying attention to our common humanity, and breath work is a way to do that. Something we all do. And so we take an average of 20,000 breaths a day. Most of them are dysfunctional. Most of them are high up in the throat and the upper chest. And that has an effect on our thoughts, our emotions, how we hold stress and trauma. And when you breathe properly, you're able, and breathe into the body, you're able to release that stress and trauma and stay in what's called the parasympathetic nervous system. That's the rest and digest part of the system, where we should remain most of the time. There are times to go into the sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight, freeze, but not as many as when we were, back in prehistoric times. So that's kind of the goal. And normally too, right, you want to breathe as a cylinder, and you want the breath to expand your ribs. So as you're breathing, you can put your hands on your lower ribs, and as you inhale, try or imagine and notice your ribs expanding out. That's when you know that your diaphragm is doing the work, and that's what you want. You can vary the cadence, the rhythm, the timing of the inhale and the exhale to change the result. Again, whether to relax, energize, transform. 20 connected breaths, it means that each breath, and what we're going to do today, is connected to the last one, and then also to the next one. There are no gaps. A lot of times we have a natural gap between inhale and exhale. When we do the 20 connected breaths, and we're going to do 3 rounds of that ideally, you're not going to have any pauses or gaps. It's like a wheel turning. Inhale and exhale. You're inhaling vigorously and then dropping the breath out. You're not forcing the exhale, you're just letting it drop out. And you can choose, depending on whether you need more energy or more relaxation. More energy, you're going to do this through the mouth. Less energy, more relaxation, you're going to do it through the nose, inhale, and exhale through the mouth. Generally, inhaling through the mouth creates more of a sympathetic nervous system response, fight or flight. And normally, during our everyday breathing or at night when we sleep, we want to breathe through the nose. But for this exercise, you choose nose mouth depending on the result that you want. And so what you're doing is 4 short breaths. So I'm going to do it through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a big 5th breath. And we're going to do that for several rounds, okay? And the inhale, as I mentioned, is active. The exhale is passive. You pull the breath in and just let the breath fall out, ideally with a sigh. Don't push it out or force the exhale. Just drop it out, dump it out, let it go. You control the inhale, but don't control the exhale. And as I said, breathe in through the mouth if you want to be more energetic in this practice, or through the nose if you want to be more relaxed. These 20 connected breaths are a part of what's called breath awareness. The breathing is automatic, right? And that's good news and bad news. Good news is it keeps us alive. Bad news is when we don't pay attention to it and we have stressors throughout our lives, the breathing becomes dysfunctional, and with the follow-on effect of how it impacts our nervous system and our bodies. So don't be shy about that. Or if you're around people and you don't want to let the sigh out or have them see you breathing in this certain pattern, do it later. Again, text me, DM me, PM me, whatever it is on these platforms, and I'll give you the formula. So we're going to try to do 3 rounds. Normally, you would want to do a slight meditation in between each round to ground yourself. to get a sense of how your body's feeling in the moment after those connected breaths. We're not going to do that now because I want to keep you here till the end. So we're going to do 3 rounds of this. And normally you can do it sitting, lying down, standing up. And just an added suggestion, I'm going to suggest that you start through the nose, out through the mouth. And then as you practice more, you can do it completely through the mouth, both the inhale and exhale. So again, it's going to be short inhale, 1, exhale, big one, drop it out. Again, again, inhale, drop it out, and just take a moment to notice your feet on the floor, assuming that you're sitting down, how the chair is supporting your back, your butt, your arms. Pay attention to where the breath is now, whether it's coming in fast or slow. Notice any areas of your body that may have some tension or that may actually be more relaxed than they were before you began this. And so you always want to ground and center in a breathing practice as far as I'm concerned. So you do that by extending your peripheral vision out to the sides, feeling your feet on the floor, your butt in the chair, where you're being supported, okay? So if you get nervous, a little anxious, just notice those supports. Come back to the sound of my voice. Let's do another round. So and expand through the ribs as you inhale. Inhale, drop. Big one. Again, inhale, drop. Big one. And drop. One more time. Inhale. Big one. Drop. Center. Notice where your body is. Feet on the floor. The support, whether you're standing, sitting, lying down. Areas of the body that may have released, may have become more tense. Any thoughts you have, is it a thought or a feeling? Note it and then just move on. And we're going to do one more final round, okay? So inhale. Inhale, big one. And drop. Inhale again. And drop. One more time. Inhale. And drop. Notice how you feel. Ground. Notice where your body is. And again, let me mention, you can change the rhythm, change whether you're taking it in through the mouth or the nose. And I appreciate you staying with me. I appreciate it if you've come back to this. And I'm going to end it soon. But, send me a private message or an email or contact me on Instagram or here on Facebook if you have specific questions about, for instance, this 20 connected breaths, whether in fact you're breathing properly, on means of using breath work to relieve anxiety, to release stress, to transform yourself. Again, I'm also thinking about putting together a once-a-week class where we do mainly transformational breath work so you can release the trauma that most of us are holding in our bodies, whether it's over these past couple of years or whether it's a buildup over decades in some cases. So thank you for being with me, and I'm going to try to do these Friday. We'll see. And I want to thank you for being here. Take care.